Oh my god, dude, it's been a while.
So, like, we were really successful on this podcast so far and our TikTok. I mean,
Yes.
we did it for one weekend.
And then, well, life started lifing a little bit, and then it was just, it was hectic.
So, we have done a total of 3.
Technically, we have done 3 episodes.
One, I said no.
Yeah, the first episode before the actual one. It was like, it was literally impromptu. We were just like, hey, we have this stuff. Why not try it? And then, yeah, we realized we didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much happy juice I had. I did not anticipate doing that day, though.
No.
And then we did the one that
we uploaded.
And then we did another one.
And that got corrupted. And I couldn't edit it because half of it was just, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to put it through an editing system, CapCut.
Oh.
I was trying to put it through CapCut, and then CapCut was not working. So then I was like, let me try to find another one. And I guess somewhere in the process of that, the video corrupted. The video got corrupted, all of it. Half of it was deleted. I don't know where it went. I looked at my recycling icon on the computer. It wasn't there.
It was fate. That's what it was.
The fucking fate was like, nah, you're not gonna want to release this episode. I don't know. Things happen for a reason, so fuck it.
But I heard that you have been researching stuff, and I have told you repetitively, don't tell me until we film.
And I wanted to tell her so bad before we started filming.
She already told me one spoiler.
Well, a little title to a topic. I didn't like specify the details or whatever. But I have been doing some research in the past couple of weeks because I've been like super intrigued in like TikToks and local news and all that stuff that's been going on. And I don't know, I just don't know where to deep dive because all of it's like crazy. And you've been doing research too. You've been seeing some stuff like locally, kind of. You gonna sit here and tell me that you weren't just telling me about some crazy shit?
I'm not, like I said, I wasn't very educated on it yet, but basically...
That is true. I'm not educated on one of them either, though, because I barely found it this morning.
Let me get...
When I was scrolling through the book talk. Oh, my mic just totally rubbed my collarbone.
So it's about Mercedes Vega. So, happened about like a year ago, but pretty much what occurred was, she was originally in Tempe, leaving her apartment or whatever, exited the elevator, and then was in the parking garage, and then all of a sudden her car ended up in downtown Tempe. Like, there was spotted there.
Oh, like the last like surveillance.
It was on what's that street that's all the bars?
Mill Ave.
Mill Ave. It was seen on Mill Ave, and then next time it was seen in Buckeye on the side of the freeway on fire with her in it.
For context, if you don't know how far Tempe is from Buckeye, it's like an hour?
No.
Or more.
Tempe is like an hour from here.
So it's like
an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half away. Like, Tempe's down here, Phoenix is right here, Buckeye's all the way over here, like if you're going to California.
Like, you're going like across. Like, Phoenix is like not just... It's like
yeah, you're going like...
It's like going from like San Diego to LA.
Yeah, that's pretty much the best way to describe it.
Yeah. It seems like everybody knows that. Like, that distance.
Yeah.
But throughout the last year, there's multiple bodies found in Buckeye.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not really all over the news or whatnot.
But it's
very common for it to be in the same area. There was 2 bodies found in October. There was 4 bodies found in December, I believe it was December.
So we're
And
already
then
at 6.
there was one that was recently within the last couple months.
So we're at 7 bodies. Does that include Mercedes or no?
No.
So 8 if you include her.
But I think that Mercedes was like, I think that she was kind of the, like, like a
making a point.
Making a point. I feel like they were making a point. And I know that it wasn't just one person. Everybody knows that it wasn't just one person that took her. Yeah. Because how do you go from like an hour and a half away, going over to Middle Ave, whatever, and then going to the side of the road,
yeah, and
across town in the book is like desert, like emptiness. Yeah. And who is the getaway car?
Right, because you're not just gonna burn the car and then you're just walking.
And like, if you're thinking like maybe he had a getaway car just chilling there, how did he get the car there? No matter what, there's multiple people.
Yeah, no matter what, at the end of the day, somebody had to have picked them up or something.
Oop.
And they still don't know who did it, right?
Nope.
That is insane.
Not from my knowledge, no.
That
maybe
is
I'm incorrect.
With like the amount of distance they traveled in that vehicle and that stop that you're talking about and all that, and all the cameras that exist nowadays, it's crazy to me that there's no footage of the person who, like, there's no clear footage of the person who did this.
Yeah.
And there's cameras everywhere nowadays.
I'm just triple checking before, but
again, some of the stuff that we're gonna talk about today, some of it is still breaking, like, is like brand new, and some of it is like unconfirmed kind of details, like maybe rumors and stuff like that, because I know one of the topics I'm going to talk about is currently just a rumor, but it's something that's been occurring within the last, like, at least I saw it was occurring within the last 5 days. And one of the other things that is currently happening has been happening since like January, and that one's crazy, but we'll get into it. We'll begin.
Sorry, it was in Tonopah, but it was right next to Duckii.
Oh, Tonopah is still far out there. That's like the last stop that you can hit, but when you're on your way to California before you go to, like, what is it, Blythe or whatever?
So, they're still working on the case still to this day.
That's insane.
So the article that was posted regarding it. So she was found dead in the burning car in Tonopah in 2023. March 4th, 2025.
So we're almost 2 years in.
They're still struggling to come up with the suspect.
So we're about 2 years deep, almost.
Yeah.
And we've got an unsolved case.
It says court documents show a fingerprint on a bloody bag matched with Hayes along with his DNA. They found this man in Tennessee. They found a man in Tennessee and extradited him. But I'm not sure.
But he hasn't been, like, convicted officially or anything like that?
No. Wow, this was really recent. But anyways, 2 years. And he hasn't been convicted. He was extradited from Tennessee to Arizona.
Yeah.
And that was announced on the 5th. So that means that there's a likelihood that it's still
unsolved.
Well, like, it's still, what's it called? Like, he could either already be in Phoenix or is still in the midst of it, you know?
Oh, like in the process of being extradited?
Yeah.
Because I know that could take a while sometimes.
In stories that I've heard with people being extradited, it depends. Sometimes they just hop from one prison and they get bussed all the way around, or they get flown. I would think that he would get flown because, it's a serious case. The person.
I was gonna say, like, for something like that, like, it's like kind of like a priority.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Like, there are stories of like somebody that did get it for smaller situations too.
Yeah.
But
and this is like first degree, like, premeditated murder. Like, there's no way they don't fly that motherfucker in.
And if it hasn't been in trial yet, that means like they can possibly like be tying in the other ones.
Yeah, because if it hasn't gone to trial yet and they don't know, like, if this is the actual number one official suspect, that means that they're probably still looking at other people.
I mean this, I guess somebody did a silent witness that brought that into there. I don't know. I just saw it. I literally just saw that. That's crazy. But I mean this just came out like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, this is like new.
March 25th.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
was
like
2 weeks.
that's like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so he there's a possibility he isn't even in Arizona yet. But in general, he was over in Tennessee because he's a little sissy who like ran away.
Tennessee.
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 But yeah, I wonder if it'll tie to the other ones, but we never know. It was 2 years ago, so, and there was bodies found this past year. I don't know.
Wouldn't it be insane if, like, the guy that they're extraditing from Tennessee to here is linked to those other, like, 7 bodies, and, like, if we include her, those 8 bodies? Like,
Yeah.
how insane would that be? Because they don't even know how old those bodies are, do they?
I have no idea.
They can be.
didn't
They
look
can
that
easily
far.
like be bones at that point, like 10 years old type
I
shit.
don't think they were that.
But based off what you were telling me, it sounds like the remains weren't like fresh, but like also not old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a couple years old, maybe.
Yeah, I'll look more into it, but that's why I was like, I don't know if I should say something because I didn't really look too deeply in it.
No, but
Life
you
is
know what?
lifing.
Life is lifing, and sometimes we just come across some
But
crazy stuff.
but like, it's okay that I did speak about it because like the next time I can have more details.
Yeah, you can be like, oh, by the way, guys,
Oh,
update.
by the way, so here's the correction of everything. So
yeah, the two main things that I have. I mean, I guess I have 3, but one of them kind of ties into the other. Is one is like fresh happening, like just happened a couple months ago, and then the other one I barely seen this morning, and it was happening from like 5 days ago. The case that I have, right? Because since we're speaking on local right now, the case that I have is, I would call it fresh. It started initially in January of this year, 2025. So, yeet. So basically, this is a nationwide case, like all over the world. It started movements for Native Americans and like Native American women. Like it started a whole thing, right? And it is the case of Emily Pike, 14-year-old girl.
I have heard such a.
Yeah.
I have not looked much into it,
unfortunately.
unfortunately.
So this case is just crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm so happy you got into
Yeah,
this because
I
want to
went
know.
into a rabbit hole trying to figure it out because I saw Facebook pages of like, you know, when you're on Facebook and somebody goes missing, you see like the little, they create that little picture that has a picture of them and then like descriptions. So in January, I saw those posts of, oh, have you seen this missing juvenile? And it was Emily Pike, and I had a picture of her, and then like it just described her last location and all that. And I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh, that's really sad. Like it's a missing 14-year-old girl. Like, you know, she ran away from a group home, I guess. And then next thing you know, I'm reading an article in March that they found her body dismembered.
What? Dismembered?
Dismembered. But listen,
Listen, Linda.
it gets crazy, right? And I did a deep dive. I was watching this YouTube video about it, and this YouTuber that I was watching did a really good job, like breaking down all the details, which allows me to share with you guys. So shouts out. I'll probably link the video, honestly, because it was really informative. But what happened was, so in January of this year, it says January 27th, the 14-year-old named Emily Pike, she was originally, I don't know if she was born on the reservation that she came from or what happened with that specifically, but she ended up in a group home in Mesa. And I believe she was from the San Carlos Reservation. Yeah, San Carlos. She like it's by Globe, like it's way out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
far.
that's
It's far east. It's really far east. So basically, what happened was, she had a previous history of running away from the group home that she was in, right? And on this particular day, there was some sort of an event happening at the home, and she took it as an opportunity to sneak out because she wanted to be reunited with some of her family. She wanted to go see some of her family and all that stuff. And so she snuck out, and the last known location of her on camera was in Mesa, near the group home at like a little crossroads. And because of the previous history of running away, and there's a lot of people who are really upset with Mesa PD for this, they felt that Mesa PD didn't take it seriously because she had come back previously.
That's
Yeah.
literally
Yeah. So
nice.
a lot
That's
of people,
just Arizona police.
yeah, a lot of people were saying that Mesa PD dropped the ball on this because they were trying to report her as missing, but I guess somebody was like, somebody in Mesa PD, I guess, was like, no, she's a runaway. She's gonna come back. You know, like this has happened like twice before already. Like, it's all right. Like, we're gonna find her. Like, it didn't seem like they were taking it too serious. Well, 3 days passes, and they're like, okay, she hasn't come back. We don't know where she's at, and we need to start putting a pep in our step and trying to find her. And the fucked up thing is, and if anybody ever watches like crime documentaries and all that, you know that the first like 2 to 3 days are the most crucial days.
Yep, the first 48 hours.
It is the most crucial time in finding somebody.
Especially
and after that, chances of survival are dropping like fast, right? Especially for a juvenile who, you know,
the fact
14.
It's a kid.
Yeah, it's a kid, you know what I mean?
Even if she runs away, even if a kid consistently runs away, that's still a kid.
That is still a kid. Barely a teenager. 14.
And we're not even allowed to leave like kids at 10 by themselves at the house.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they take this as a priority?
Exactly. And so by the third day, they realize, okay, she's actually missing. And at this point, they have missed the crucial window of trying to locate her. And what's even more fucked up is nobody notified her family until a week after she was missing. Yeah. So I guess at some point within a week, the tribal police got involved, and that's when they let them know, like, you know, the case manager or whoever, they let them know, oh, you know, just so you know, she's been missing from the group home for like a week now. And then of course the case manager is going to tell the family, your daughter's been missing from the group home for like a week. She ran away, they can't find her. And from what I was hearing in that video was that Emily Pike's family was really upset, reasonably so, really upset, because that's a whole week that they missed of being able to help search for her.
So this kid runs away prior.
Yeah.
And if I was the person at the group home, I would be like, so where would this kid possibly go? Oh, right. Let me contact the parents. Right. And double check because they wanted to see the family.
Exactly. She expressed wanting to see her family.
So did the group home not even attempt to try to help locate her? Because honestly, the parents should have been notified by, hey, has she been to your property?
Dude, I would have notified them within, like, as soon as I made the report of this kid's missing, parents would have been the next call.
Well, no, you know? Before that, you should call the parents to see if she's over at the house.
Yeah, because I don't know how long she was missing, because I think they said the destination from the group home to the family was like 2 hours or something.
Yeah, but still, like, you don't call it, like, if there's an easier resolution, you do the easy before you go to
just
the
be like, hey, is she there? No? Okay, well then, here's what we're going to do. And then have that conversation, and then be like,
even try.
No. And so a week passes, family finds out, and they're frustrated because they're like, dude, we could have been searching for her this whole week. And then at this point, Gila County gets involved because this is the county that has started, that, you know, her family and all that's in. So now we have 3 agencies involved in the search: Mesa PD, which was the first original one, the tribal police, and then Gila County. Well, this is where shit kind of takes a turn because of an incident that occurred in February. And mind you, her remains weren't found until March. But what happened was, while they're searching for Emily, trying to trace back any of the areas she was near, Gila County's Facebook page leaked an internal memo, which was supposed to be sent to only the officers and investigators involved in the search. They accidentally leaked onto the Facebook page a memo describing a scene found out between Mesa and where she lived, somewhere in the middle point near Globe. They found remains of what they believed to be a female between the ages of teen to maybe early 20s. And it described that the remains were dismembered and missing body parts.
What?
That got leaked onto Facebook to the public when it was supposed to be an internal memo for only the investigators to know about.
Why are they hiding that shit?
Well, because when they're doing an investigation like that, they didn't want to confirm that
Oh
it was
yeah,
her.
plus they don't want to leak the info for the person.
Yep, to know that they're like catching on to them.
Yeah.
So this,
Oh my god.
yeah, so this leaked memo goes out, right? And immediately everybody's like, is this Emily Pike? Like, are these remains that they're talking about Emily Pike? Because at this point, it's about 2 weeks, roughly, maybe like 2 and
And
a half.
that's the only person that's known to be missing that they're
Yep.
searching for. Yeah.
Yep, a juvenile and all that. And then I think it was maybe 3 days later, based off of when I scrolled on the Facebook, the sheriff for the Gila County Sheriff's Office confirmed this is the remains of Emily Pike. And then the details that emerged from that was that apparently somewhere off a highway in between those 2 locations, her body was found in 2 separate bags, 2 separate big like construction like bulky bags, you know what I'm talking about?
God.
Apparently one bag contained like her legs and all that, and then another bag contained like head and torso, but her arms and her hands were missing. Yeah.
Why would you need that?
Do you know why it's rumored that her arms and hands were missing?
Is it some religious thing?
Mm-mm. It's rumored that her arms and hands were missing because she potentially fought back against whoever was killing her.
Oh, and the DNA.
And the DNA would have been underneath her fingernails.
Yeah.
And then that led to another theory that spiraled out of control a little bit. Somebody was saying, and this is from that video I was talking about, how would somebody know to take away her arms and her hands and like know to dismember her like that without having done it once before? So then there was this theory, because they ended up finding more remains literally like near that body. They discovered more remains of it was a male.
Is it kind of like with the New Jersey, where it was the guy that was just casually like a broker or whatever and just kept offing bodies for like 20 years in the same area? I'm like, I don't know.
That's the rumor. And a lot of people were saying like the area where this body was found, both bodies, is extremely rural. Like it's not like little towns.
Like a superstition or something, or
it's out over by there, yeah. And it's a super rural area, meaning that there's no like gas stations or stores or anything like that. It's like maybe like farmlands way off in the distance, off of the highway. So it's like they were saying like, is there potential to be a serial killer because not only were these 2 bodies found near each other, and they could be unrelated or they could be related, they don't know, but also it's the fact of how she was killed and disposed of like that and had the hands taken away, meaning like somebody knew some sort of information to be like, the killer knew like, take the hands away, they won't be able to identify me. They knew how to dismember a body perfectly like that. Like there's no way they didn't do this before.
There's no chance. Like an
No
amateur could
way.
not have done that.
No, and like if I would imagine somebody killing somebody for the first time, I would imagine there would be a lot of panic. There would be a lot of like you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean?
We watch tons of documentaries about random
Mhm.
stuff. I've never heard of arms and hands being taken before.
Yep. And that's the first time I ever heard of it too, because
And knowing to put it so, like, to be putting it in
Mhm.
such a deserted area
Yep.
in different
Yeah.
areas, that's insane.
And they still, as far as I'm aware, they still have no idea who did it, and they still have not found her arms and hands. They don't know where her arms and hands are. They're missing.
Sorry.
No,
I'm
you're
usually falling asleep to mysteries.
good. Then this is one of them. And yeah, so like they
crawdads.
genuinely don't know who did it. They can't, like, because of the rural area that it was in. They don't because because of the rural area that it was in. There's no cameras, so they don't know who stopped and did it.
They really, 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 really need to have tons of people just
Mm-hmm.
just go through that area, both areas, like even further than the areas, just like all over.
Yeah,
Search.
and I would not
and
be
you
surprised.
have to have those dogs.
I would not be surprised if they found more bodies because of how rural that area is. It's kind of like how those bodies were found in Buckeye. It's like where it's not an area that would be normally accessed. You know what I mean? It would take that one kill, and then it sets off a chain reaction, and it's insane. And so there's like a theory right now that there's like potential for like not like a serial killer, but like potentially like a serial killer in the making. Like this could have been there's no way this was their first kill to dismember somebody like that. There's a rumor that she might have been trying to get a hitch, like she was trying to hitchhike potentially to go out towards her family. And there's a rumor that maybe whoever picked her up might have been the one who killed her. Yeah. And so that's currently a developing story.
Oh my gosh.
There's no updates as far as I've seen yet. I know there's been a lot of like, at least when it was happening like in March, there was like protests and stuff, and
Well,
it really,
she's colored.
Yeah, and Native American,
and Native American specifically.
And it brought a lot of attention to the lack of like
or if it
urgency.
If it was a white kid.
Yeah, and that's just facts.
If it was a, not a foster kid or anything of that sort, just like if it was just a kid that's white or whatever, they would be looked for immediately.
Yeah, and that's exactly what that movement has been saying. Is like
I feel like the Native Americans though get really on the back end.
Yeah, they do
everything,
and that's what that movement has been saying is like it's the lack of urgency from police departments not taking their cases serious when people are missing. And like there was a lot of stories being shared at like the protests down there in Mesa about people who still have family members who are missing that are Native American that they haven't found to this day because they felt like they were getting put on the back burner.
That's what happens all over the country though.
Yeah, and it started like a nationwide thing. And it needs to be talked about because it's like it's just so gross that they don't have that urgency that somebody else might,
Well, I mean, it's similar, like, no matter what, the Native Americans have been in the dump for a long time, especially with those charter schools or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that right there is absolutely horrifying. You've heard of that stuff about that, right?
Mm-mm.
So pretty much back in, I think, like the 40s or something of that sort, Native American children were brought into the school and converted into what the whites would be practically, and then they would torture them. If they spoke, like they would beat them if they spoke like their native language.
Jesus.
It was torture. I found out my grandfather was actually in one of those schools when he was younger with his brother. So yeah,
that's horrible.
It's traumatic. A lot of people died. A lot of kids died.
That's true. That's just horrible.
That's what happened.
It's tragic.
Yep.
And
white people suck.
As I'm half white.
Hey, but I'm Native American, so
that's true. That
And
is
I
true.
just said my grandfather, so.
So she got a little bit of that Native American blood, and stories and whatnot. But it's just so sad because she was only 14, dude.
She's so young.
She was young.
The system failed her.
Yeah.
And if she was still in connection with her family, if her family was good still, like the government's so willy-nilly on taking kids.
Yeah.
You could take kids, so they take kids for the stupidest things that were okay back in our heyday, and we survived.
Yeah.
Like the fact that her parents are still concerned or whatever, like
it shows that they wanted her back.
The system failed her.
Yeah, and the system failed
100%.
that family.
And the people in the caregiving place, like this is on them too. 100%.
I think I heard that they were closing down that house, actually.
They better.
Last I heard, there was like a lot of backlash, and I'm pretty sure I heard that they were like closing down that group home because she wasn't the only one that used to run away. Like a lot of them used to run away.
Well, when I did that big sister thing or whatever,
Yeah.
a lot of them in general do, because
the system sucks. Yeah, the
caregivers do it for money.
Yeah, they don't actually like care.
Not all of them, but a good chunk of them.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And it's just crazy. But there was that theory though that it was like a serial killer in the making, and I'm like, I believe it.
Well, because of her, story, like it's opening a book that could cause a resolution to many missing people.
And it could be like a domino effect, like like when they were trying to locate Gabby Petito, they ended up finding so many more missing people and bringing closure to all those families.
Yeah.
And opening that like conversation of like, these people, and some of them were like, African American, Mexican, some of them were white, and it was a lot of conversation about like if we were trying so hard to look for Gabby Petito, we should have tried hard for these people too. Yeah. And it kind of opened that conversation up the same way that this one's opening it up about Native Americans.
But like, I don't know, it's sad. It's just so
really sad. It just sucks, like, and it's like history repeats itself always. It just sucks when it takes that one like massive tragic incident to finally open up the conversation. It's always like
it shouldn't take 3 counties to make this something.
Exactly. Like, this should have been a priority as soon as she was reported missing. They should have been trying to find her in those critical hours. Like, you know what I mean? They shouldn't have gone based off the assumption of, oh, she's a runaway. She'll be back. You know what I mean? Doing that they could have saved her. They probably could have saved her if they tried really looking for her in those first 48 hours. You know what I mean? But yeah, that shit was crazy. And then just I don't know. It just rubs me wrong.
That's so sad. But I hope that her passing isn't just, forgotten, and it's actually a resolution to something so much bigger. And she could be saving people's lives by finding that killer. And I bet that person, I believe it'll be a serial killer.
I think it'll be a serial. We both just made the same fucking. I was gonna say typo. We just made the same exact like error when speaking. A serial killer.
We watch it so often. How do we not know the word?
Bruh. But speaking of serial killers,
I'm gonna second guess my life. But what's a bad timing?
Whoa.
But anyways, I think it would be, and I bet he's shaking in his boots right now.
Oh yeah, he's probably like, oh shit, they found her,
With every serial killer documentary, it always starts with one accidental find.
Yep.
And then it ends up because it's
domino affecting.
Yep. So, Mr. Killer,
you're gonna get caught, dude. And I hope you fucking do.
What?
And I hope I hope justice comes for your ass, dog. Are you good?
I saw something black like moving, then I heard something.
Oh, girl, don't tell me. I've been watching scary TikToks lately. Speaking of which, okay. So
Listen, Lindas.
we're talking about serial killers.
Okay.
There was something I came across TikTok this morning that had me shook, right?
Shocking
So-
in your boots.
Based off the statistic, and again, a lot of this information came from TikTok, so we don't know how accurate it actually is. Because, you know, TikTok does give you a lot of unfiltered, you know, videos and stories and whatnot. That the news, like, won't report or whatever. But
Technically, we're not even professionals, so these could all just be fairy tales. Just pretend they're fairy tales and go with the flow.
it could be real. I don't know. You know what I mean?
It's based off of a true story, but if there's anything inaccurate, we'll figure it out another day.
We'll update it in a different video.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was scrolling TikTok this morning after I woke up, as one does. And my TikTok is filled of, like, a mixture of things. It's filled with One Direction. Shouts out if you know. It's filled with, like, true crime type stuff. And then it's just filled with, like, some of those scary videos of, like, people just recording, you know, whatever.
My algorithm is basically, honestly, I have no idea. It's so random.
Curious. If I open my TikTok, I'm curious to see if what do you think is gonna be the first thing that pops up? True crime, scary video, or One Direction?
I'm gonna say true crime because you're on a bender.
I'm gonna say One Direction. Let's see. It's probably gonna be true crime. Oh, it's a YouTuber. Hold on, let's not count that.
Oh, mine's just hippies.
Oh, it's a conspiracy theory about strawberries. Something a baby, an ad. Hey, I'm not seeing any One Direction right now. Where's my One Direction? Benny. Oh, Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez has been one popping up recently.
Oh, mine.
I love Benny. Get you a Benny.
I'm looking at it, and it's a lot of other countries reaching out to Americans.
Oh, I've seen some of those.
Raves. Yo Gabba Gabba.
Oh my god, I saw that video.
Yo Gabba Gabba is at Coachella. There's a lot of makeup.
Yeah, mine's pretty
random. Wow, how rando.
Huh.
Why do so many people in Arizona go missing without a trace?
Case in motherfucking point right there.
Like,
case in point, and then you get to read all the comments, and it's crazy.
Okay,
but
comments
I squirreled out.
Oh yeah, but in general, comments on any videos and anything is just like
so satisfying to read sometimes, and like sometimes they're really funny depending on the video.
Like, it's a really stupid video, and then it's like those comments just make everything better.
Exactly.
Okay, so, please. Sorry,
as I was saying, so I was squirreled out there for a second, but so I was scrolling TikTok as one does in the morning.
Squirreling TikTok?
I was scrolling TikTok as one does in the morning, and you know, I'm just going down my algorithm. One Direction, Benny Blanco, a dancing video, paranormal. Once you get to the paranormal, that's when you start to get into like the kind of crazy shit.
I really want you to just go on my TikTok for a while. I need you to like change mine. I don't know how I got to mine.
Dude, I just look up like cases, and then they just start popping up. Like, I just looked up like Emily Pike or like whatever. I just look up like the hot topic that's like crazy, and then my algorithm just changes.
I need to do that.
Yeah, just look up mysteries and shit.
Mine's also with strippers, strip dancing, pole dancing. Sorry, but pole dancing, it's because it's so cool.
Pole dancing is cool.
That's so cool.
But I was scrolling, and I got past the true crime algorithm, and I got into those videos where it's like when somebody says like, "Oh, did anybody else experience this in their city?" And it's like something crazy like, "Oh, did any of you guys like hear about this or see that or whatever?" And this one said, as a matter of fact, I bet you I can find it because I just searched it up. Let me see here. Let me go to TikTok. Let me go to TikTok.
Tic-tac, paddywhack, give a dog.
So I literally just looked up Connecticut serial 2025 news because, you know, killer gets banned. And it said, remains found in Foster, Rhode Island, Groton, New Haven, Danielson, Killingly, Connecticut, and then most recently, Plymouth. So if you count how many cities that is or towns, that's
a traveler.
That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 towns at least named, and across those states. Because Rhode Island's small, yeah. And apparently, there's a bunch of bodies being found, and they all have a pretty similar death. And there's a rumor circulating right now that there's a serial killer, primarily in Connecticut. We got a little cat cam. Oh, bye cat. Come on then.
Sal. Zelda.
She's sniffing me.
Come here.
Cat cam.
Sal. Hello. Oh my goodness. Zelda. You little baby. You want scratches?
Come here.
Zelda.
Anywho's, so I guess apparently in all these towns and cities, there's been like remains and like bodies and stuff found. And a lot of people, like, I've been reading some of the comments of people who are saying like, oh my god, like this girl that I know, like she just went missing a week ago, and like it fits the MO of the killer and all that stuff, of like the victim. And I guess this girl like doesn't call out of work and all that, and she's been missing for a week, and they're like worried that she might be like, a victim of this killer. There was some people saying like there's more bodies that are being found, but they're not reporting them yet. Like one person was like, oh, they found a body near my high school or whatever, like 2 days ago. And a lot of people are saying in these comments and stuff that like they're kind of frustrated because all of these bodies were found under a month, and the police are saying that there's no possibility of a serial killer. But I'm just kind of like, I would understand like finding remains, and the way that they died was like completely different than the other, because a serial killer always follows the same MO. They're always going to do a very specific routine of killing somebody. That's just how serial killers are. And the fact that a lot of these remains that are being found are so similar, it's like there's no way that it's not a serial killer.
Like there's no way that there could be a copycat. The copycat doesn't even know the other person exists.
Exactly. And like somebody else, like a lot of people are saying like, oh my god, this body is like really close to me, blah blah blah. And I guess it's like some of them are like women being killed or something like that. And let's see. Yeah, there's just a lot of people that are just kind of like tripping right now, because it's reported the estimated amount of bodies is like 3 to 11.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. It's a big number.
That's a lot.
Usually they say by the third kill, if it's the same consistency of the way the person's killed, usually by the third one, you have a serial killer.
Why is she so pretty?
I don't know, she's just sitting in the mirror. Look at her. Oh my goodness.
You're so pretty.
But yeah, that's like what I was reading this morning. I was like, dude.
How are they? They're being dismembered?
These people, I actually don't know. I haven't read up on how the remains have been found, because I haven't been able to find many details of it, because like there's not really many people reporting on it, which is like kind of crazy, because it's like you would think that finding between 3 and 11 bodies, and people are saying, dude, it's a serial killer. Like a bunch of people in Connecticut are saying, dude, it's a serial killer, especially because they found remains in like 5 of their cities. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's crazy how like Ted Bundy, etc. They were all so known. Like
Yeah.
they're like, it was like out there that there was a mass murderer going around or whatever.
Yeah.
It was multiple different serial killers throughout, before internet time.
Jeffrey Dahmer was one of them.
Yeah.
No.
And it was notified. One moment.
Bless you.
But anyways, why is it that we're alive right now? Yeah.
And we can't get any information on who's doing killings or whatever.
And it's like serial killers are a make-believe story.
Right, it's like, dude, there's no way. Like that statistic I was telling you about that I was reading.
We don't hear anything about serial killers.
And there's definitely serial killers out there.
Yeah, it's not like an extinct situation.
No, because like I said, the statistic was like,
It's like
I don't remember. It's like 50 active, and a total of like 3,500, but
Wasn't
only 50
it
are active.
55 active and then 35? No, it was 50.
It was like in the 50s somewhere. Usually somewhere in the 50s are like actively like trying to kill or killing, and then there's like 3,500 that are like have the potential to go into that active, like.
Yeah.
You know
I know
what I mean?
that they're very open about like human trafficking details or whatever, but not serial killers.
Yeah.
I feel like that.
They don't want to create like a mass hysteria type thing, and
it's
then
because people
are just locking their doors and never coming out again. But it's like
2020 all over.
But with serial killers.
Yes.
Not COVID.
The next chapter of the pandemic is serial killers.
Dude, could you imagine? They're like, we're going into martial law lockdown, and you're just like, fucking COVID again. Like, what is it now? COVID 2.0? And then you find out it's because there's like a bunch of people, like purge type shit. Dude, I would never. I don't know what I would do.
Serial killers coming out on strike, protesting for freedom.
Like on some. Remember when there was clowns back in the day?
Dude, that was insane. How there was like random clowns like coming in and attacking people. That was.
Did you ever encounter one?
No.
I saw one at a distance, but I never encountered it like up close. Dude, it was terrifying. I don't remember who I was with, but it was like, I'm sure that it was just for trolls, because like we lived with a bunch of kids in like the apartments that we lived in growing up, and I'm sure that it was like a bunch of trolls or whatever. But like we were like tripping so hard because we could have swore that we had seen a clown, and at this point that clown thing was like happening like on a daily basis, and we were like freaking the fuck out because we're like little 7th graders or whatever. That shit was scary.
I was at Silver Q then. I just know I didn't go out very far because I didn't have a car or a license at the time.
Yeah.
But no, I never encountered one ever. And if you did, I feel bad for you because it's terrifying.
I don't know if it was legit or not though. Like I'm pretty sure it was.
Either way,
I think it was somebody just trolling and just trying to get a rise out of like the kids in the neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Either way, what is this child doing?
Sitting back by the thing over here. She got yelled at. You got yelled at, Zoe.
I'm sorry.
But no, yeah, that shit was crazy. That shit was wild.
Dude.
The fucking clown era.
There's this one time. I'm not gonna say it. Okay, so there was this one time that was super. This is super crazy in my brain, but it was comical, and my husband hated it.
Wait, what is
something?
Your child is getting into everything.
Stop eating
your
chips.
Fur baby. She's eating something.
Don't have children. Anyways.
Or fur babies.
No, you have to have fur babies, but don't have children because Zelda's just like me and my husband. Anyways, so this is just a really random funny. Back in the days, the day when you remember when everybody was like freaking out about zombies?
Yeah.
In like 2015, 2016.
Are you talking about when that person ate that other person's face or whatever?
In Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bath salts guy?
Yeah. So, funny story is, so I have ADHD, like, I'm bipolar or whatever, and I have to take my medication. They are controlled substances, so you can't just drop off and not have medication because you will go through withdrawals. Well, I was taking some medication for my bipolar. I was taking medication for my ADHD, and then I was also taking
what the fuck was that? No, I don't like that.
No, this is just a car door.
Are you sure, bitch? That sounded like the window being tapped on.
Not at all.
Are you sure it didn't?
No, 100%.
It didn't sound like that.
No, not at all, dude.
You,
Trust me, I
okay.
would be freaking out. I have my husband, you know him.
Yeah, you're right. That just sounded crazy.
No, it sounded like Carter. But anyways, and I was also taking this medicine for my insomnia. Well, my butt decided to go cold turkey. 100% cold turkey on everything. And because I wanted to be normal. But there's really no normal. And honestly, I'm happier on my medication.
Yeah.
And take it responsibly. And so I went cold turkey, and I was at this hookah lounge, and I was reading about like how there's zombies everywhere, and now there's aliens released and everywhere, and I was freaking out, and I was in the midst of watching Doctor Who.
Oh man, you were going through it.
Well, like in general, like this is just, you know, I'm just on Facebook, I'm watching it, smoking my hookah. Well, my husband went to go drive our friend home, and I was going to walk home from the hookah lounge because we didn't live far, and I really like walking.
Yeah.
And so I'm walking, and just recently, prior, like right before that day, I ended up getting chased by coyotes in the neighborhood too, and so in my head I was like tripping because I was like, oh my god, coyotes. So I'm just like freaking out about coyotes, and then in my head I'm like swimming around like, oh my gosh, there's zombies out there. But then I'm like walking, and then one of the neighbors had those freaking cement angel things in front of their house.
Oh, those weeping angel type shit. Oh no.
So in my brain, I was like, I called James crying, so I was freaking the heck out because I see weeping angels, there's aliens out there, there's zombies.
And zombies, dude, you're going through it.
I'm gonna get attacked by coyotes. I'm like freaking out. And so then, you know, my husband comes home, I'm home, everything's chill, but then I get a call from my cousin.
Oh my god.
And he's like, Katie, go outside. Do you see that in the sky? And I was like, what do you see? Mind you, I'm totally sober. Yeah. Literally, completely sober.
Yeah.
So I get a call from my cousin, and he's telling me like, oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. And also to add, because I wasn't taking my insomnia medicine, I didn't sleep for like 3 days too.
Yeah.
So, I was like, what am I seeing? He's like, there is a giant jellyfish looking like thing in the sky.
Huh? What?
And I was like, what? He's like, the aliens are here.
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh my god. And so I go outside, and I'm like looking at the stars or whatever. I'm like, they're moving. Oh my gosh, they're freaking out because I don't have a car of my own. I'm like, my mom is in the hospital because she has valley fever. My little sister's at the house by herself because she has school. My stepdad's probably with my mom. I'm like, oh my god, I need to save everybody.
Oh
so
no.
I was leaving like voicemails to my mom saying how I was gonna take one of the cars near us so I could get the van so I can grab all the stuff and we can all go out because there's aliens that have arrived.
Oh.
In this jellyfish ship.
And oh my god. Oh my god.
My mom got so many voicemails.
Oh my gosh.
My husband was very annoyed.
I can't even imagine what she was thinking. Like, what the fuck is wrong with her?
I was just, I'm crying, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do because my mom's hospital.
Yeah.
My sister's.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that day was the last time I ever went medication
free. Cold turkey on your meds.
Ever since then, I make sure that I want my drugs.
You're like, okay, my timer went up. I need to take them.
Yep. Yeah.
Jeez.
I feel bad for my guy, that's for sure, because he saw all of that in real time just happening. Yep.
A jellyfish spaceship is crazy.
He said that it was like, because it was dark, and
Yeah.
it's like a shadow figure of a jellyfish.
Could you imagine if like they actually if aliens actually pulled up on you in a fucking jellyfish UFO? I would just be like, you kill me.
Like,
just get it over with.
I was like, I saw like, you know, when you like stare at the stars too long.
Yeah, and they start tripping.
I did not think on that. So they were moving. We were having an invasion.
You're like, how did that get over there? Damn, you were going through it. Oh my gosh.
Zombies, weeping angels, coyotes, aliens.
Aliens.
All in like a couple hours span.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Dude, you know what alien theory I really want to look into?
What?
The Phoenix Lights.
Oh, I've seen those for years.
I know they've made like a whole like movie about it or whatever, but I want to know.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know they made a movie called Phoenix Lights? I'm pretty sure.
I had no idea. I had just known about them since
I'm not gonna lie to you.
young.
I didn't know. I heard the movie wasn't really good though.
That's probably because it's about Phoenix Lights.
It was about Phoenix Lights, but like it was like a movie. You know how they dramatize things.
Like 2012.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just what I heard. But I do want to look into it because that's like kind of crazy.
It is so neat. I remember when it became super known, like not super known, but like the tea started coming out. It was when I moved into the new Youngtown house.
Mhm.
It was like 2003 or 2004. But my mom and I used to go on like random trips all the time. Not random trips, but like
trips.
But like night trips. Like we would drive everywhere.
I know what you mean.
And we lived in like BFE. Like we lived like
way out there.
You know. And so I didn't say that right. BFE? No.
Do you mean butt fuck nowhere?
BFN?
Is that the saying in the middle of butt fuck nowhere?
I don't know.
Why is it butt fuck nowhere? I just call it. Well, I can't call it the boonies because the boonies is like.
It was like
north.
Like it was not even a community. The house we moved in was just built. We were like one of like the 5 people. Or 5 people. But what's my collie? Real quick, squirrel. Did you know it's not cold as hell? It's cold as hail.
Cold as hail. Oh, that actually makes sense.
I've always questioned it, Brian.
I just think it's cold as hell.
Yeah.
You know why?
But because, it contradicts itself.
You know what it is? Someone somewhere down the line had such a thick accent, it sounded like hell.
And it's just like...
And then it just picked up and just like evolutionized from there.
But isn't that crazy? Cold as hail.
It's cold as hail.
It makes more sense.
But it just sounds so weird if you like have to enunciate it. It's cold as hail.
But it contradicts.
Hot.
It's like cold and then
cold as hail.
Hot.
Cold as hail.
It's cold as hot?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually kind of crazy.
Sorry, I scrolled on that one.
That came out of nowhere.
I know. But anyways, I lived really, really far into the desert area on the west side. And my mom and I were driving, and then we ended up seeing it. And we were like, wow! Because we were able to see it so clearly since it was, like, near our area. And it's just the coolest thing how, like, people lately are like, no, it's only been around for, like, 5 years.
Oh, no, that's been around for a while.
But it's been there forever. Because, like, there's a lot of people, like, a lot of out-of-towners who are stupid.
Out-of-towners.
Learn how to drive. Anyways. Get out.
Get out. But anyways,
it's really cool to like know that like things are going. But even after like over 20 years of knowing, not over 20 years, but like
no, it's been about over 20 years now.
Oh
that
gosh,
wasn't that in like the late 90s?
No,
Like
the first time
99?
I saw them was in the early 2000s, early baby
But
2000s.
wasn't it like the first reported one was in like 99 or something like that?
Some of that sort. But from when I first saw them, like, it was
Early
the coolest
2000s.
thing because they just
Yeah.
chilled. And a lot of people are. Have you ever seen it in person?
No.
So it's like, you just see them, like, there's just like, doop, 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 doop.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're like dots in like a triangle
Yeah,
shape.
they're like, doop, doop.
Huh.
And they just sit there.
That's so weird.
And then after a while, like a good while,
Like a couple
they
hours.
no, like, it just depends, but like a good while, not like a flare type thing, but a good while.
Oh.
Like, they just like randomly, like at different areas, go that, like, you just see, like, it's just like, here's the dot, and it's like, so you see it like fade away, like,
yeah,
like go. I don't know how to explain it.
That's so weird.
But
is it like when you see a shooting star and it's like bright and then just burnt out, just gone?
They just sit there.
But like, yeah, like they're not moving, but it's just like you, like when you turn the TV off. And
no,
it
like fades a little bit. It's like it goes smaller and then it just
like dims.
Yes.
That's so weird.
But it sits there and everybody's like, they're flares or they're this or they're that, and it's like, no, like, flares don't just chill.
No, flares, they go like, and then eventually they go.
And these out-of-towners that have lived here think that it's just the Air Force Base.
Bitch, the Air Force Base ain't over there.
I mean, it's right next to the neighborhood, but I mean, these are like further.
Yeah.
Like way further out.
And the Air Force Base doesn't do anything in that, we know of.
Yeah.
That we know of.
That we know.
Yeah.
But like, just in general, we just still don't know. But I think it's funny hearing all the out-of-towner stories. But man, I hope one day you get to see them because it is the coolest thing.
Dude, you know what? Speaking of UFOs, there is one video that I saw years ago. I've never been able to find it since. I don't know if it got taken off of YouTube or something.
Probably.
But it was like this I don't know if it was like Sweden or Switzerland or somewhere over there, or like Norway. It was like this little town where they had like a tradition of like, if somebody yells out their window, you get like a response back. Like it's some sort of like town.
I need to go.
It's kind of like a town thing, you know what I mean? Like it's just like normal. And I remember I was watching this video and there was like this mountain in the background and it had this light on it. And like at first you thought it was the moon because it kind of looked like it was the moon, like just flashing down on it. But then the light moved like a spotlight. It was crazy. But there was no helicopters or anything near it. I can't remember what that video is called, but it was crazy.
I have a question. My mother and I spoke about this recently.
Yeah. Sorry, I have allergies. My ear itches.
Okay.
Oh, you said okay. What happened? What happened?
Do you believe aliens are in the ocean?
Yeah, we've only explored 5% of it.
I think it's dinosaurs.
Oh, it could be dinosaurs. I believe there's a number of things in the ocean because we've only explored like. Isn't it 3%?
It's a
very small percentage. I believe there's some crazy shit in the ocean. We just don't know about it yet.
I believe there's some crazy stuff up there, but I don't think aliens.
Okay, wait.
They have the entire galaxy. So it's either they're in space or they're in the ocean. But they have the entire galaxy. Why would they pick water in space?
Oh yeah, good point. I would say aliens in space and
dinosaurs. Maybe it's like a different hybrid of aliens.
It could be.
That would make more sense too.
What if it was like a previous civilization of like a human species that evolutionized into some weird creature?
I mean, isn't there like a city underneath the ocean?
Atlantis. That's like the theory, is like Atlantis. And those are like mermaid people. Fish people. So
I mean,
not far off.
They could have a whole, like, we could be the weird ones that they're like assuming about.
Gosh. You know what I read? You just reminded me saying like we could be the weird ones. I read that like something about space where we were getting like a radio frequency and it was similar to the communication of like our human race, like our species. And it was like, what if it was coming from another Earth? Because the galaxy is massive. There's no way that there isn't another planet like ours with another species like ours.
Humans are so over themselves. Like,
Yeah.
so,
Like, we're not unique.
number one. We're the best.
Like, there's no way there's not another planet that is, like, the same, like, very similar thing. You're, like almost like a parallel universe.
Things adapt to their areas. We can't just be the only living things. Like, people are weird. Like, think outside the box, people.
And I saw this clip, and it was like, what if those radio frequencies were coming from, like, another Earth, like another, like parallel universe? And it's like, what if there was another you on that Earth that was, like, totally different? Wouldn't that be crazy if there was, like, so cool. Like, what if there was another you that was a boy? Like, you were a guy you know what I mean? And, like, you lived a whole different life.
What if
that was crazy?
That's where we go when we die.
To the other us.
Yep.
We just reincarnate to another us on a different planet in a different galaxy.
I mean,
a different solar system.
I mean, isn't there life?
Yeah. Do you believe in, like, believe in, like, ghosts and, like, reincarnating or what?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that I'm a new soul. I'm a fresh soul. But my little sister is 100% an old soul.
Yeah.
She is definitely reincarnated. But 100%. I don't think that we just go into the dark abyss. I don't believe that there is, like, this magical man up in the sky that's, like, gonna, like, cure us. But it's like, no.
Do you think that you come back only as a human, or that you can come back as an animal?
Anything
that lives.
Nice. But I feel like it's not like it just depends. I feel like if you have something holding you back here, you're gonna be considered a ghost that needs to finish his chapter. Something's holding you back.
Like purgatory type shit.
Yeah, like something's holding you back. That's why there's so many hauntings or whatever. Like some hauntings, like some spirits are just stuck in a loop, and like some are not. Some are following their next, their whatever. Anywho's, I highly believe it.
Like an unrested soul.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I kept feeling like I was hearing something over here and it was scaring me.
But I feel like you don't just, like, die and then go to the next thing. I feel like
you go to, like a journey.
I feel like it's like when your time, you don't know when, you don't know whatever, but I know that it's reused. Recycling's healthy.
And energy never just, like, stops. Like, there's, like, a bunch of like, you know how they say when it's ghosts, it's just, like, the energy of the person that died?
Yep.
It's like I guess, like, the soul or whatever.
Well, when my cousin died,
the lights.
He messed with the lights.
That's what I mean. Because, like, when you die, like, your energy, it goes somewhere else. You know?
Yeah.
Most people, when they get buried, they, like sometimes they grow, like, plants. You know what I mean?
Like, I would love to be made into a tree,
Oh, there's that thing there's
the pod thing.
Yeah. Where when you die, you're literally like the tree's nutrients.
I would love that.
Isn't it crazy that when
it's so expensive though?
Oh, I believe it.
But it shouldn't be.
But, like, bitch, I'm planting a tree with my body.
Exactly. I'm helping you guys. Like, you couldn't do this without
bury me and let this tree grow. Name it the Katie tree.
For real. Call it potato. It's this little spud.
It grows potatoes. Imagine they planted you as just a potato plant instead of a tree.
They grow for a long time.
It's a big potato.
I'm a potato.
No, that's crazy.
Oh, I just realized I'm matching you.
My Stitch.
Yeah.
I got Stitch socks on with my pink Crocs. Ooh, they look a little crusty at the bottom. That's okay.
It's okay.
And I got the Ratatouille.
What do you know about Ratatouille?
What do you know about the Ratatouille, dude? That's my favorite movie.
But anywho's, one day I'll have to talk about my spirits that I've encountered.
The spirits.
Dude, I have encountered a lot of afterlife stuff.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to talk about that on another episode.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like I've encountered and like heard of some shit, and I'm like, damn.
What's your input on the afterlife?
The afterlife. So I'm not exactly like religious, you know, like I grew up with religion, but I haven't like actively, I guess, participated in it. Like I still believe in it, you know what I mean? I just don't actively like go to church or anything like that. I believe, like I like to believe there's an afterlife where you go to heaven and all that stuff, but there's also a part of me that thinks realistically, and it's like I feel like you do become something else. Don't know if it's another human, a tree, a bug, an animal, you know, a fish or something. Like I do believe that's a possibility, but I know for a fact that your energy has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm gonna be a ghost and I'm gonna just be roaming and just like, you know, chilling with my family, you know what I mean? Or if I'm up in the fucking pearly gates and I'm just chilling with my family members who passed. You know what I mean?
You know, all of my family members, and I'm not even insulting them, all of them, majority of them, I'm going to say, all said that they're going to hell.
Dude, that would be my biggest fear, honestly, to go to hell.
No, it's like they all say it.
I would never ever. I can't even imagine. Like,
But
I know it's not like. Well, I can't say that it's not a
wanted-
real place. You know what I mean? Because I don't fucking know. But like, could you imagine going to a place where you rest and it's just fucking burning, fiery pit of lava?
But I don't. That's Arizona, bro.
That is true. We already live in hell. We already live here.
It's just a little spa vacation with some shiny, different type of water. But in general, all of my family have said that they're just going to go to hell. Does that mean that if I go to heaven, am I alone?
Are you alone? No, I don't think so.
I'm going to be with
You're just gonna be chilling, waiting for like your friends to come up.
Be like, hey, anybody that was good? Anybody good?
You're like, how you doing? Oh, you redeemed yourself. Redemption. Come on up here. Like, join the party, dude. Put on a nice fucking outfit. Let's chill.
I think it would be cool, but I don't think heaven is the pearly gates. If heaven is truly heaven, I have a different aspect on what hell is and heaven is, because I think
I don't think it's that like cliche.
I think heaven is something like a memory that was the happiest part of your life that you get to relive and enjoy for eternity.
That's what I think too.
If you're in hell, I feel like it's either you are a spirit and just stuck.
Like unrested soul.
Yeah, that's like, you know, like a lot of haunted places, you know?
Yeah.
Or I think that if there is such as hell, I don't think it's just a fiery hole, because honestly, some people, I mean, they moved to Arizona. They like the heat sometimes.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's something like the worst thing that you can ever imagine in your life that you've done, and then you get to see the repercussions from it.
And it's just like a never-ending nightmare. Yeah. I believe that too. I believe like it's not the stereotype of you get to heaven's gates and then it's like a cloud and you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's almost like waking up and you're like on a field or something and you're just at peace. Like you just feel good.
I feel like,
you know, like you just feel warm and you feel nice.
I don't think
euphoric.
Ooh.
I feel like you feel euphoric.
I think that like it'd be nice to have like your family or whatever with you, but like they have their own places they want to be.
Yeah.
So I think like it's your own realm of happiness.
Yeah.
Like with my favorite people, etc., all together and like doing things that I like. Honestly, I don't know what I like except murder stuff. But
you're just watching the documentaries of it.
Literally, my YouTube is the red flag. My therapist shall never open. But my husband says that all he has to do is show my doctor my YouTube.
They'll be like, okay.
Alrighty, I agree with you. There's a lot of true crime and Dr. Phil in here.
It's just so satisfying to watch.
But it's like,
It's intriguing.
I just feel like it'd be nice to just relive your whole thing. It would be so cool.
Just relive the best moments of your life, pretty much.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
I know.
I think that's what heaven is.
I think just being your happiest self. But yeah, and I don't think that you're with people that you love that pass. Because if you died, you're gonna be sad if your loved one isn't with you, like your spouse.
Yeah.
So you have them and you're like with them. You're with them type thing, you know?
I know what you mean.
I don't think they're just watching. But then when it comes to the situations I've encountered in the past, and then it changes my aspect on it again because I've encountered people before that I've loved.
Yeah. Now that you think about it, yeah. That's what I was saying. I feel like your energy goes somewhere initially.
Yeah, I just can't imagine I don't know. But I would love to know, but I'll be patient.
Oh, I'm scared of dying. I don't want to think about it.
Oh no. I'm like,
you know what it is? It's not necessarily the idea that like I'm gonna die one day. It's more so the actual feeling of what happens when I do die. Like the actual feeling,
the pain.
like the actual motion and like action of physically taking your last breath. That's what scares the fuck out of me. Just being there and just going like, and then you're done, like, and you're not breathing ever again. It just like I can't wrap my head around the concept of never breathing again.
I mean, it's just a band-aid. You just, and then it's.
Yeah, but I just like, I don't know, like it's just like I hold my breath for 1 second too long and I'm panicking. So it just freaks me the fuck out.
I'm excited to die.
Oh my god. Are you okay?
I know I'm gonna be patient, but I like to know. I would like to know what's happening on the other side.
I am curious. I'm just not ready.
I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna let life do its lifing. But man, I'm excited to go see what's on the other side.
Don't take this as we're feeling some type of way. We're not.
I'm patient.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just waiting. But I don't. My great grandmother is 102.
Oh my god. Mine was like 90 something when she
passed. I don't want to be 102.
No, I don't think I would want to be that old.
That means that I have to wait 70 more years.
Damn.
Right?
That's crazy. Dude, that's crazy.
I don't want to wait that long to go to a place that I'm excited to see.
Damn. And you're just like laying there in a blanket, just like, please.
I don't want to do this.
All wrinkly.
Oh, no, I couldn't. I wouldn't. No.
I am just afraid of
just not breathing.
Yeah, pretty much just like the physical, like, is it going to be painful type shit? You know what I mean? But I know that it's natural, and like naturally when you are dying, your body does release a bunch of chemicals to make you feel good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like natural morphine.
Yeah. When I saw somebody die,
they do like a death croak.
Yeah. That's haunting. But it's something you never forget to hear.
Yeah.
That's the hugest indicator they're about to go.
Yeah, if they death croak.
But anyways, from the outsider point, you can hear like, oh my gosh, they're in pain. So it looks so painful for like their body struggling, and then it's just like, bleh. But I feel like it's just kind of like when you get in a car crash, like,
it's like the adrenaline,
and then it's just like done.
Yeah,
you know. So it's like a temporary out, and then it's like forever healed.
It's kind of like man, what was I about to say? I forgot. What were you just saying?
You were just like saying, it's painful.
when they think you're in painful. That's right. You know what's crazy to me? It's like when people are like in, like, I've heard stories about people in hospice care, and like the patients' families will be like hanging out with like the person who's on hospice, and like the person on hospice will get like the random burst of energy.
Yeah, I
And
remember that.
And like a lot of people will be like, "Oh my god, he's gonna be okay," and it's like, no, that's like the final push, dog.
Dude,
that's like the final last bit of energy. He's going to be dead in 8 hours.
Okay, I encountered that with my Uncle Steve when he was in hospice. Like, he had terminal brain cancer. He had multiple tumors in his brain that kept regrowing, super rare, no truth about it anyways.
Yeah.
Like anything about it. Anyways, so he was like going. And he was in hospice because he was going. But then, like, one day we were all so happy and we all went over to the hospice because he was talking, he was having some funny stories, he was joking around like he usually did prior. He ended up, since he was coherent, he was able to talk to the
like
science research center because of because his tumor is so rare. He donated his body to science, but in order to donate your body to science, you have to give the approval before you die.
Yeah.
But like when you're dying, but before you die.
Yeah.
And so because he was coherent, he ended up doing that. And he said it's good, he said loves yous or whatever. And then that morning at like 7 o'clock in the morning, I found out that he was dying. Like literally about to die. Yep. And I was so confused. Why was he why were we talking about all this random stuff?
Like, why did he have that energy yesterday? Like, why did he seem fine?
I never heard about it until it happened. And then when people talk about it, like,
you're like, yeah, it's true.
And so now it's like anytime somebody's dying, if they have that random burst, they're
about to die. Like, literally in like 8 hours, 10 hours or whatever, they're gonna be gone.
Yep.
It's just crazy. It's like crazy how like that like your body just gives you that last little go tell them bye, go tell them that you love them or whatever.
Just imagine though, like, what if you're like with a serial killer or something? You're dying. You're about to die, but you're not dead yet, and you have that spurt, and you're just stuck there.
Oh, dude, that would suck. That would suck. Because you have all this energy, and then you're just like, well, I'm fucking stuck with a serial killer.
Well, you don't know exactly. Now that you can actually speak, like, now you're like, how the fuck do I get out of here? And then you're...
That's crazy. That's, like, actually crazy to me.
I don't know, this stuff is... I love watching videos about, hospice care. I feel like I'd be able to do it.
I think I could do it.
I think I would actually be able to do it just because, like, I'm really aware of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Not, like, experiencing, but just, like, kind of emotionless when it comes to spirits.
Yeah.
And stuff. Like, the dead part, that sucks.
Yeah. Especially if you get to know the hospice patient.
Yeah, that would be the hardest part. But, I mean, I think it would be really cool to at least be there. If they didn't have family there,
at least you get to help them, like...
do that kind of deed, let them in peace. But I wouldn't be able to handle anything else. Like, hospital, medical related. I wouldn't be able to.
No.
And I would have to hire somebody to clean up poop. So I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, shout out to healthcare workers.
For real. Shout out
to you. You guys put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep us healthy.
If your parents take you to the hospital, yeah.
Yeah.
But if your parents don't take you to the hospital, you just become natural to trying to survive. And then you're healthy just because you're just trying to struggle to survive.
Yeah. Your immune system is really kicking in some overtime.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yeah. Who needs healthcare in America?
Jeez. So fucking expensive.
But anyways, thank you very much for telling all of this stuff because that was really, really interesting. And now
we had a great podcast. I think we had really good topics in this episode. It was pretty crazy.
That is so cool. Oh my gosh. And I will definitely get more information on Mercedes because now that I see that info is recently popping up,
Yeah, we
I
need
will
some
now
updates on that.
I will now do research, official research. But I said it may be edited the next video. So if I sound like an idiot, just know I might be adjusting this. I wasn't prepared to discuss it.
Yeah, I kind of did throw that in probably.
Yeah, you did.
I had to. I didn't want to be the only one with topics.
I was just going to be chilling here and listening to you. But I feel like, man, there's a lot of crazy stuff coming up out here. You know how many documentaries that are around that's like, I've lived it.
Dude, true. You want to know what? I know what my next topic's going to be. I'm going to give a little teaser here. Cecil Hotel. That's all you need to know.
Cecil Hotel.
Cecil Hotel. And I will give you guys the tea on that in the next episode.
The what?
The tea.
Tea!
The tea.
Comment, thumbs, and subscribe if you would like.
I forget which side it's going to be on. It's going to be
It's
on
gonna
one of
be
the
on
other sides.
them.
I'm just going to do this. There we go.
Anyways, if you can please comment at least something like, what would you like us to do in the future?
That is true.
What could we do better?
That is also true.
What path should we do?
As long as it's doable. Or any topics that you want to hear or something like that.
I mean,
you know,
you could just put her on something and she'll do it.
That is true.
Yeah. Do you want to see a game? I don't know. But
the next one we might do something with some soda flavors.
Dude, we should do a shot like every 5 minutes or something.
Of a randomly flavored soda.
Yep.
So that is potentially coming up in the next video.
Yep.
And also the canned food challenge is also one that might.
Okay, I want to do that canned food one.
We'll do the canned food one first.
But the next video won't be done for a while.
Yeah, life is gonna be lifing for a little bit. We're gonna be busy, so we'll pick up episodes again in a little bit here.
Maybe on the week or something, during the weekday or something. But
yeah,
it's becoming busy season. It's summer season.
Oh yeah, you know what that means. Swimming.
Lake days.
Lakes, rivers, swimming. Oh yeah.
Kayaking. I really want a paddleboard.
Oh, paddleboards would be so sick.
Dude, I want a paddleboard so bad. I have a kayak, but I don't have a paddleboard, and I really want a paddleboard.
I like how you have a kayak, but not a paddleboard.
Gotta start somewhere.
Kayaks it is.
But I like kayaking with my dad. It's really fun.
I did it with my grandpa.
Ooh.
And my brother.
Oh my god, if you ever want to go kayaking, like, let me know.
Dude, I'd be so down to go kayaking. I love kayaking.
Oh my gosh, I'll let my dad know.
Shit.
But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Welcome to the Best Bud Squad.